Blessed be chaotic cryptids. This is B.
This is Sarah, and you're listening to the Like You Know Bruh podcast.
And this is Cass. Welcome to the next episode.
Okay, so we'll just dive right in because I feel like that's kind of what we've been doing. We have a few haunted things as usual to go over. Today I am doing the Winchester House. Almost all of my information was from Wikipedia, with the exception of like one website, which I'll make note of at the end whenever I get to that point. I'm growing, and I make note of this later on in my notes, but I'm growing more and more disappointed with these haunted houses, these quote-unquote haunted houses. The more I read about them, none of them are haunted, and it makes me sad. I need to find one that's actually haunted, but I guess I'll go ahead and dive in. I like to give backstory before I dive into the spooky aspect. So, the Winchester House is a mansion located in San Jose, California. It was previously owned by Sarah Winchester. She's a widow to firearms magnate William Wirt Winchester. Sarah was called Sally by those closest to her. She gave birth to a girl named Annie who was diagnosed with marasmus, who only lived about a month. Just as info, marasmus is... the way that it was described, it's a severe form of malnutrition, and it can be a number of things that cause this, like malnutrition in the mother, anemia in the mother. There was a few other things, but I didn't want to write them all down. But there was quite a few things that could cause this. So between the fall of 1880 and the spring of 1881, Sarah's mother, father-in-law, and husband all passed away. And then a couple years later, in 1884, her eldest sister passed away. Very sad. When her husband passed away, he left her a large inheritance. And then after she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in 1885 at the age of 46, she moved from New Haven, Connecticut, to California, at the instruction of her doctor that a drier climate might help. She purchased the house in 1886. It reminded her of Lanada Alavesa from the Basque area. I don't know what that is, and I didn't dig too much into it because I was running behind in research. So she named it Lanada Villa. This would be the home that would become known as the famous Winchester House. She and her husband had an interest in architecture and interior design, so this is why she was so involved in the home's design. She had hired and then subsequently dismissed 2 architects after she had the plans to expand the home, quote-unquote, farmhouse, deciding to plan everything herself. She designed the rooms one by one, supervised the project, and sought advice from the carpenters that she did hire. She took inspiration from the world's fairs that were common at that time. I think that was like an actual fair type thing. But I didn't do too much digging into that. If progress didn't meet her standards, she was known to rebuild and abandon construction. Same, because I do that with writing a lot. So the San Jose News reported that a 7-story tower was torn down and rebuilt 16 times.
Jeez.
That's wild. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. Due to her expansions, walled-off exterior windows and doors were not removed as the house grew in size. Up to 5 levels were added to different parts of the place. The design was Victorian with elements of Gothic and The design was Victorian with elements of Gothic and Romanesque features. There was a lot of descriptions of the place. I didn't want to go into detail with that because it was a lot, and I was not trying to write all that down. But there was one thing that very much caught my interest, was that a stairway was built that had 44 steps, but only rose 10 feet because of her 4-foot, 10-inch height. And then I put in parentheses, we stan a short queen. Contrary to the claims of her having the house under construction round the clock for 38 years, she did take breaks on a regular basis, sometimes for months, since she tired so easily. At its largest, it had about 500 rooms. Bruce Spoon, a student from San Jose State College who wrote his master's thesis on Sarah in 1951, came to find that the reasons for her constant building was to keep workers employed, parentheses for me, women are amazing, and to express her artistic vision. He had interviewed people who remembered her, and that's how he got this information. After an earthquake in 1906, the home was left severely damaged. Construction diminished so much that doors leading to nowhere were left. Basically, they used to lead into balconies, but the balconies were gone, so they left, nowhere. Pipes were protruding, and staircases that led to upper floors ended suddenly. At the time of her death in 1992, the house had 160 rooms, 2,000 doors, 10,000 windows, 47 stairways, 47 fireplaces, 13 bathrooms, and 6 kitchens. That's a lot.
Why?
Yeah.
For why?
Well, I mean, she liked construction or architecture, and
I was about to say,
she kept. Yeah, she did it to keep her people employed. She was doing that so that people had jobs, and I love that.
Oh,
She's amazing.
Well, yeah. Okay.
And it's sad because apparently people, and I'll get into this later, but she's looked at as a crazy person because of this, and that makes me very sad. But anyway, it became a tourist attraction 9 months after her passing. It was leased to, then later purchased by, in 1931, by John and Mamie Brown. They were the ones that turned it into an attraction.
9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Not even, you couldn't even wait a whole year before you started making money off of this woman's life after her death.
And then making her seem like she's crazy.
That is just
That's wild behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Kittle, he was a past Disneyland and Frontier Village employee, became the general manager in 1973 and had the home renovated in the 70s and the 80s. We all know what happens when you renovate an old home. That was my comment. As of September 2022, the house is owned and operated by the Winchester Mystery House, LLC. It's a private company that represents the descendants of the Browns. Since her death, the belief that she built the house this way to confuse spirits and keep them from harming her, and that her sanity was questionable, has grown starting since the 1890s. People called her crazy or made her seem crazy because she was afraid of spirits and being harmed and stuff like that, and that's why she built the house this way. That's not true. We know that at this point it was constantly built to help people stay employed, but then the places, the doors that lead to nothing, the pipes that are exposed, the stairs that lead and end suddenly were all because of the damage that happened from the earthquake in 1906. And then, of course, I'm sure with people buying the house and renovating it, they kind of wanted to make it look more not so damaged, so they fixed it up to where those staircases ending to nothing didn't look damaged. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it looked intentional. They fixed it to make it look intentional.
Yeah, or that's what I'm gathering from it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joe Nickel is I think he's a paranormal investigator. I didn't dig too much into it, but he has a lot of information or a lot to say about a few things, rumors that are said to be have happened there. So the bell tower, there have been claims made that this place was used to summon spirits. None of this is substantiated. Ghostly music. Local residents claim to have heard ghostly music coming from the house. This was explained away as Sarah would play music at night when she couldn't sleep. Parties for the spirit, quote unquote. Again, unsubstantiated, sorry. After her death, when her safe was opened, nothing was found to indicate any parties for spirits were held. They said there was mention of gold plates being used at these parties, but again, they didn't find anything indicating anything.
Well, that's disappointing. I was holding out that when I was a spirit, I'd get invited to a bunch of parties with gold plates. And
right?
It looks like that's not happening for me.
I forgot to mention this. Just to like hype her up even more, all of her employees were named as beneficiaries in her will.
Stop it.
I love her. Like, even if the house isn't haunted, I freaking love her. She's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
She's an amazing person. Was an amazing person. The claim that she held seances in the house nightly, midnight to 2, have been debunked by her staff. They state that she had never any interest in seances. Some hauntings described in the place are cold spots, footsteps, cooking smells, odd sounds, whispering, doors and windows slamming, and the feeling of being watched. According to Joe Nickel, there is no evidence that this house is haunted. And like I said, that can be, all of the stuff has been explained. And then this is where I made the note of the fact that like I'm continually disappointed in the lack of spookiness to the last 2 stories I've done. I am sorry to our listeners. I did go to a website. I just wanted to find some sort of like spooky stories that might have been told from firsthand accounts. According to WinchesterMysteryHouse.com, they have 3 different types of hauntings: residual, intellectual, and shadow figures. Luckily, they mention nothing of poltergeist, which I'm not surprised because in my eyes, I don't think the house is haunted. The residual haunting, there is a famous wheelbarrow ghost working on the fireplace. They can be seen working on the fireplace, pushing the wheelbarrow. I hate that word because I keep wanting to say wheelbarrow. And I don't think that's the right word, but it says wheelbarrow. It feels weird.
It's the correct spelling, and we live in the South, so we pronounce it barrel, but it's barrow.
Yeah. It just feels weird saying it. Anyway,
language is weird.
So it is. So this ghost can be seen pushing a wheelbarrow full of ash or coal. The intelligent haunting, my bad. A longtime worker, Denny, states he heard footsteps after entering the water tower. He followed the steps to the 3-story. He ascended the steps in the 3-story tower to let the trespasser know, hey, this is off limits. But every time he would get closer, like it was always a few steps ahead of him. Like the steps never seemed to be able to, like he couldn't catch up. And then when he got to the top of the tower or the roof, obviously there was no one there. And then to these shadow figures. A former marketing director captured a picture in 2015 catching what appears to be a human-shaped apparition looking out onto the front gardens. I looked at that picture. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't find anything. It said it was on the 2nd story. I could not find anything in that picture. So, I don't believe that the Winchester house is haunted. I would still be willing to do a ghost hunt at the place because, that part.
It'd be really cool to visit if nothing else.
I definitely would love to visit the Winchester house still because it's, even if it's just for Sarah, like she's amazing. Yeah. Oh, also as a note to the listeners, I love Supernatural so much. And I, in my research, kept Googling Mary Winchester. And Google definitely got sassy with me at one point and said, Sarah Winchester, comma, not Mary. And I was like, rude, but okay, thank you. So my bad to Google for offending you. I get it. Maybe it was Sarah. Maybe Sarah was like, look, girl, get it right, please, because my name is not Mary. Sarah beyond the grave.
The thing is, she's seen Supernatural, and I would be a little offended too, because both of those parents were.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got on mine. I couldn't, like I said, I think I'm gonna stray from houses maybe next week because I can't find any haunted houses. Maybe I'll find a cursed object or something because I'm not having luck with houses, and it makes me sad. There is one house that I heard about from Morbid that I kind of want to do. That one really freaked me out, made me very uncomfortable. But I'll think about it.
Today, I am returning to Kentucky. I was there last week. But in Louisville, Kentucky, there is a place where I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of because this has been all over every paranormal channel that has ever existed. It is the Waverly Hills Sanitarium. And while honestly, I first kind of assumed, even though I have seen all of these documentaries that I just mentioned, in my mind, it was a sanatorium, like a normal old-timey sanatorium, which was not a good time ever. But this was for pretty specifically tuberculosis. And it opened in 1910. The Ohio River kind of flows through that area. So it was a really great breeding ground if you're tuberculosis. So it started off as just like a 2-story building, but as the problem grew, the structure grew. And eventually it included a ward for not just the kids that were sick, but the kids whose parents were sick and did not have anywhere to go. Unfortunately, tuberculosis really, really deadly. And in the 51 years this hospital was open, 6,000 to 8,000 people died there. The big thing about this sanatorium is they had a tunnel that went from the hospital down to, let me see, a heating plant. So there was a heating plant, and they used this tunnel to carry supplies between the heating plant and the hospital. But it was also used to transport bodies down to a waiting ambulance so that the patients didn't have to see kind of this mass amount of fatality that was coming around. So it was really put into place to protect the patients as much as they could from witnessing them. Now, that is the part that they mainly feel is haunted. It's called the Death Tunnel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, so as I mentioned, this was closed in 1961, but in 1962, they reopened it as the Woodhaven Geriatric Center. And they specialized in patients who had dementia or physical or mental handicaps. Unfortunately, they had way too many patients. They didn't have nearly enough staff. There was tons of neglect. And by 1980, it was closed down again.
Jeez.
Yeah. Now, in 1983, some guy tried to buy this building for a prison, but the neighbors, I think, honestly, they probably just had enough, right? Because they were like, no, thanks. We are not going, hospital, geriatric, jail. We're just not, haunted enough, right? So, and then there was something about a statue of Jesus that they were going to build. I didn't make a whole lot of notes on that because I didn't care about it. But yeah, so it's considered, honestly, I've seen some people refer to it as the holy grail of haunting. Now you can go to their website, the Waverly Hills Sanitarium.com, where you can go on tours. You can have private paranormal investigations. They can even give you like a toward paranormal investigation if you're like a novice, where they kind of guide you a little bit.
I
And
wanna
you
do
can
that.
even. Sorry?
I said I want to do that.
That's what I'm saying, is apparently some people are saying you can even spend the night there. So you can spend the night and some of the next day. But yeah, there's also a movie, a Hollywood, and we'll put that in quotes, movie called The Death Tunnel, about the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. I have seen it. As a note, I did watch that movie several years ago. It was terrible. It was
Okay.
so bad. It looks like I maybe filmed it and acted in it. But if you want to look it up after hearing this, you can look at the Death Tunnel. And if you just YouTube this place, so many paranormal investigators have gone and looked at it. I mean, having 6,000 to 8,000 people die in one place.
That's definitely bound to leave some a ghost or two.
Yeah. So we might have to join the list of people who have gone, guys. Maybe not a cast, but the rest of us.
We'll go. I'm
will
down.
go.
Okay.
I
Well,
just
so-
ain't spending the night.
Yeah, no, Ghost Adventures, I think, has been there, and Ryan and Shane
Oh yeah.
been there. And
I think I would like. Here's the thing. I would be down to stay the night, so long as Jason came and slept with me. If we're gonna sleep, if we're gonna stay all night and Jason's not there, I am wide awake the entire night until sun up.
yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't know. Like, I feel like Jason would be very tempted to either mess with us or.
I
We
don't
talked
think he
about the
would. He's usually he's usually good about. I don't think he's ever pulled any pranks like that. I've never known him to, so I don't know that he ever has. But as far as being disrespectful to the ghosts, sure.
Okay.
Sure, I could see that.
So, Jason, you may come, but we are watching you.
You're on probation. You're on a PIP.
Please send us your resume and cover letter. We'll get back to you within 72 hours. All right, Cass, you kept yours a secret. What do you got?
So I picked the Eastern State Penitentiary. So this prison was opened in 1829 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And it was supposed to be the first true penitentiary. Like, it was designed for actual penitence and reform instead of just to punish the inmates. It had a hub and spoke design, so it was like there was a central surveillance hub, if you will, and all of the cell blocks kind of went out from it in a spoke design. It was the Quake-inspired separate system was all about solitary confinement. Inmates were kept in near total isolation to reflect on their sins. No talking, no visitors, not even eye contact. Hoods were put on their heads during transportation.
What was put on their head?
Hoods.
That's
like
what?
Yeah, they covered their heads with hoods.
Yeah. That's
so that
crazy.
They couldn't have any kind of interactions with anybody.
I want to know. I need to know why they thought that isolation and not human contact were the way to go about penance.
Right? Because if anything, that's actually going to make you more antisocial and exacerbate any underlying like mental disorders. Yeah. There's no way that works out well for anybody.
No, but this is also
unless I guess you manufacture hoods.
But this is also back when, like, lobotomies were used for hysteria in women.
Depression.
So their medical practices were all very wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
It was closed in 1971 after overcrowding and a shift in correctional philosophy made it obsolete. So it was initially praised as being humane and innovative. It ended up actually being philosophically devastating. My thoughts at the time was isolation screws with your brain hard. So some of the notable prisoners that were kept in there was Al Capone. Like, yeah, you know Al Capone. Every fucking body knows Al Capone. He served time there in 1929 for carrying a concealed weapon. He had the stereotypical mob boss goes to prison bougie ass cell. Like, he had a rug, a radio, he had fine furniture.
Hell yeah.
Like, he was living it up in prison. There was Willie Sutton, who's a legendary bank robber. He escaped in 1945 with 11 other inmates through a 97-foot tunnel that they dug that had electricity, ventilation, and even support beams. My thought, they did it proper.
There were the guards. Like, what are you doing to not know that that's happening?
Well, that's the thing. Like, they put them in isolation all the time, so they're just like, "That's cool. We actually learned engineering while we were in here."
I mean, I guess they got the job done. I don't know, man. Yeah. Sounds much like my childhood, unattended.
And the last one I wrote about was Leo Callahan. And one of the quotes was from the article I read. I cannot remember what articles it was or what locations. I'll see if I can find them later for linkage. But one of the quotes was that Leo Callahan was probably the most successful escapee. So in 1923, him and 5 others scaled the wall with a makeshift ladder. Leo was the only one never caught. To this day, nobody knows where he went.
Leo, where you at? Wait,
where you at,
when
Leo?
was that? Where you at, Leo? When did this happen? Again, what year?
That year was in 1923.
Oh.
He's probably dead by now.
I was about to say, I do think we know where Leo is.
I mean,
actually.
it's been over 100 years since he escaped, and he wasn't
Leo,
a newborn
if you're alive,
when he escaped, so
hit us up.
Descendants of Leo.
Hit us up. We'll do a seance. Okay, sorry, Cass.
Okay. So Eastern State is considered one of the most haunted places in the U.S.
Can we just talk about how every haunted place is the most haunted place?
Right? Because Waverly Hills Sanitarium, the Holy Grail, the most haunted place.
Villa de Vecchi, the most haunted house in Italy.
Yeah.
They can't all be the most haunted. Okay.
I believe they said that about the Winchester house too when I was watching documentaries on that.
Well, in this article's defense, they did say considered one of, and it's just in the U.S.
Fair. Okay. I'll allow it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So some of the most common hotspots in the Eastern State Penitentiary is Cell Block 12 has whispering voices with many people reporting their name being called with no one else there. Cell Block 4 has reports of shadowy figures darting along the walls. One report described them as crawling or slithering. Hate it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah.
No.
So prisoners don't do that.
Huh?
Pretty sure that was a
prisoners don't do that. That's not
Pretty
a normal
pretty sure
human
that's a demon, guys.
transportation.
So cell block 15, which is death row, has reports of disembodied screams and cackling, as well as cold spots.
I'm not a fan of the cackling.
No. The guard tower has reports of lights flickering and figures can be seen pacing in the guard tower. So Ghost Hunters filmed there in the 2000s. Yes, we love
I
some
love
Ghost
Ghost
Hunters
Hunters.
here.
I need to rewatch that. I need to find somewhere where we can watch that because I love Ghost Hunters.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of, like, with Waverly Hills and whatever, like, there's been a lot of ghost hunters visit the Eastern State Penitentiary. But the reason that I wrote down about ghost hunters, like, trademark, was because they captured one of the most quote-unquote iconic paranormal clips, a shadowy figure bolting down the catwalk and disappearing into thin air.
I need to find that.
So visitors and staff report being touched or pushed and hearing voices and footsteps.
Don't touch me.
No.
Mm-mm.
Some have reported feeling overwhelmingly depressed or anxious in certain wings. And
That's me on a regular basis. I'm sorry to keep adding my commentary,
to be
but that's
fair, did they watch the news directly before feeling that way? Because I'm not sure.
The isolation of the prisoners, which drove men mad, literally, is believed to be a magnet for residual hauntings and poltergeist activity.
That tracks.
So,
well, yeah.
Up until this point in my research, I was like, I'd be terrified, but I would actually enjoy doing a ghost investigation at this place. But then I came across this next little bit of information, which might also change y'all's mind, because I know y'all are also probably thinking, Jesus, that'd be fun to visit.
I don't know, because there was the slithery thing, so we'll
see.
People have walked out feeling like something followed them home.
No.
And that's a big hell no for me. It's a no from me, dog. We're not, we ain't carpooling. You ain't coming to visit. You ain't invited to Thanksgiving.
No.
Stay where you at.
Not carpooling. No, officer, I can be in the carpool lane. There's like 3 ghosts in the back seat.
I promise. I can feel them right now. You can't see them, but I feel them. Go ahead, do the thing. Do the thing.
Do the slither.
Oh no.
Dragon, not lizard. I don't do that tongue thing. And then some other fun and creepy facts. So there's something called Terror Behind the Walls, which is an annual haunted house attraction inside the actual prison. Actors make up the whole 9 yards, and they're layering it on top of an already haunted site. It's like playing Jumanji with the afterlife. No,
we're going.
Thank you. Oh yeah,
we're going. I don't care.
There's art installations there. Some artists have installed pieces inside the ruins commenting on mass incarceration and prison reform. And some of them are unsettlingly beautiful and poetic.
I want to go. I want to go. Proof that we have found next year's vacation.
Yes. Wait, where's it at? In Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania.
Let's do it. Let's go. Jason's got family there.
So they also have all kinds of tours. They've got daytime historical tours. They've got ghost tours, and you can do full-on overnight investigations. So
like we're going. they really turned this into like a full. They take hundreds of years of tragedy, and they're like,
capitalism.
Let's make money.
Yeah, we're gonna make this into a little business, and I can't even blame them because I'm freaking
down.
into both.
I'm going. I'm not
like
even joking.
tragedy?
I'm gonna talk to hubby. We can run this by the group. I'm not even joking. Let's run this by the group. See how they feel about going to Pennsylvania, because I'm sure we could find a lake with a beach, like we've been talking about.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. I'm not even joking. I'm messaging the group as soon as we're done.
Yes.
I'm so excited. Sorry.
So yeah, like tragedy, pain, torture, basically, with the whole isolation thing.
It is
Let's make
psychological.
money off of it. How can we profit from people's pain and suffering? Are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah, I know. Anyway,
the world sucks.
We're going. But here's the thing. Sorry, to add on. Like, so with it having the haunted house, it's got to be around Halloween.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we would have to take our family vacation around Halloween so that we can go to this haunted house.
I love that even more. I love that even more. Here's the thing, though, because the Waverly Hills Sanitarium, when I was doing my research, one of the questions was like, does it have a gift shop? And I was like, that did not even occur to me, right?
Nope.
To get like swag.
I visited the Waverly Hills Sanitarium and survived.
Yeah. Though, honestly, I guess now that I think of it, like once we all live closer together, I think it'd be a really cool kind of backdrop to get like maybe postcards from places that we've visited and like build a wall behind us. Just the places we visited. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. But
I
if
guess
we
I
can
can't see getting a magnet. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Magnet. Yeah, I like the postcard. I like the postcard idea. Or maybe even if we have something there, we can get t-shirts and make like a quilt of some sort.
I like that too.
Did you have more to add?
No, that was pretty much it.
Is there a gift shop? The sanatorium has a gift shop.
The sanatorium has a gift shop.
I did not see anything about a gift shop, but I can.
I mean, I'm sure they have goodies and stuff that you can buy, especially if they have a haunted house. You have like, I'm positive, and if they have the art stuff, like,
I want to see the art that's there so badly. Like hauntings and art, two of my favorite things.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That pops up is Eastern State Penitentiary Museum Store.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
But then it says no information is available for this page.
That's okay. I'm sure they have it there. We'll find out.
Store is currently unavailable.
We'll figure it out. I want to go. I'm going to talk to hubby about going next year around October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. No, that'd be cool.
I think next week I'm either going to do, I don't know why, Bunnyman Bridge or the local prison that is supposedly haunted, because I kind of want to learn more about that one, actually. I'm not going to lie. So I'll decide and then I'll let you guys know. I'll figure it out. Just don't do either.
I don't know what we're doing.
Do we have anything else we wanted to go over? Add or anything coming? I don't think there is.
I think so.
No. All right. Well then, I guess we'll call it quits then.
We got another short episode.
All right. Well, if shit gets weird,
get weirder
and lean into it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey guys, cryptids are notoriously hard to find, but the Like You Know Bruh podcast is not. You can find us on Instagram or TikTok if you just want to keep up with the latest news, or you can listen on YouTube or Spotify. And if you want to email us, that's likeyouknowbruh podcast@gmail.com so you can share your stories, tell us what you want to hear, or you know what? Just tell us about your day. We don't care. We're here. That's LIKEYANOWBRUHPODCAST. Reach out to us anytime at Gmail or leave us a comment on any of our social medias. We'd love to hear from you guys. Okay, bye.
We can cut that out.